Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 263rd One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, here on Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today, along with Mark as co-host. And I believe we're ready to begin today's workshop with members of the Universal Council, one of which, Marie, is about to begin here, I believe. So,
yes,
Marie, we'll let you take over.
Yes, thank you, Rick. So, welcome everyone. I am Marie, and I'm a Universal Council member for the Norwegian language. And to create this one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace, we have some assignments that we need to do. And in Keshe Foundation, the next big event is dining with the world leaders. And Mr. Keshe is talking about this in Knowledge Seekers Workshop 474. And it's a special message to the Universal Council. And I will tell you a little bit afterwards what we are doing with this. So I will read this. It's not very long text, but I will read it. And it's a transcript, but it's not accurate, like grammatically and things, because I needed to do some changes. But anyway, the message is the important thing here. So Mr. Keshe is talking then. He says, we are preparing for the 24th of March, when we ask you to dine with the soul of the world leaders to bring peace. We had a very successful 20th of February dining with the Creator. On the 24th of March, we really ask you all to join us collectively to meet, to sit with the soul of the world leaders, not to elevate them, but to put across what us as citizens of this planet require from them. In a way, it's the first time the Keshe Foundation invites the Universal Council to be present. It's their obligation to be present in our meeting, where we change, we elevate the soul. Now it's the time for man not to demand, but to put on the table what we expect as citizens from our world leaders. We have many of you who are in the background working with us, and we have been negotiating with different governments in the world in the past 3 weeks, preparing for this March meeting. If we succeed, we will have 2 or 3 world leaders with us in that session, but they will be hidden in the background for security reasons. We have world leaders and ambassadors from the government from African nations. A number of African nations, ambassadors and world leaders will be on the 24th online with us. What do we need? What do we expect? What is the next step for us to work through the soul and not through the physicality? It's your job as the citizen of your nation to represent your nation in the 24th of March meeting, and through your soul, because you understand the culture, you can bring the change. And it's the first time we put Universal Council on the meetings, that they themselves start being the intermediary between the world leaders and the Earth's communities. We don't expect anything. We just set the scene. It's you who have to play the game of the change. Understand what it is. Understand what it needs. Understand what is to be done. So, how would the Universal Council come into the meeting? On a soul level, exactly. But how? Would they come as one soul? Would they come as different souls collectively, as souls of Universal Council? The council members still have to learn that. So is that acting as one? And Mr. Keshe says more or less. And there's a question, will they interact with the world leaders through the level so they have to accept this energy transfer? And Mr. Keshe answers, they don't have to. You cannot force anyone, but you can make it available. There are two ways to do this job, and the knowledge seekers have not understood this. You make it digestible, or make it available, or you make it hard to be accepted. It's like you're having a sugar cube in your hand and you try to chew on it, or you dissolve it in the warm water, then you can drink it without chewing it. Which way do you want to do it? The hard way, which one gives you the pleasure of the hard chewing, or the pleasure of tasting the sweetness of the sugary water? This is what the Universal Council have to understand. Or are you becoming a bunch of facilitators that we are here to serve? It's a very big difference. How the Universal Council, as a total soul, comes into this meeting will decide the outcome more than anything else. A lot of realities needs to be understood, not to feel distressed. A lot of realities and a lot of what I call soul searching by the Universal Council. It's the first time you've been put on the test, more or less. You've not been put on tests, but you have not been put on tests, but it's there to bring the change. In a way, we're all coming as knowledge seekers with a bouquet of flowers, and you as the representative of Universal Council are there to deliver this bouquet to the world leaders. What is your plan? And every soul has a responsibility to be there. So this was from the 474th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And we've been discussing this in the Universal Council, how we can come into that meeting as one soul. So we are now starting on a daily basis to unify our souls. So we can go into that meeting as one soul of the Universal Council. So that was the introduction. I think you can go to the next slide, Rick. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Jacko, UC member for the Dutch language. I welcome you all, souls in, on and beyond Earth. Our wish as a Universal Council is a wish for all souls to be one, in the oneness of our Creator. As Mr. Keshe said in the intro, it's time to move, to become ready to do these steps. And this show we have is exactly the way we try to support, we give our knowledge, we share our knowledge together to become in this oneness. So as Marie said, I would like to remind everyone, 9 o'clock Central European Time, come together on the soul level, exchange, and start this process of creating. Because together, as souls, as a group, we are very strong and we can reach these goals that were set from the beginning, that is peace on earth. Next slide, please. So we come to this minute of silence. Try to feel the connection that is there. We don't have to make this connection because we know we are connected from the source, from the essence of our souls. And now try to exchange, help each other, ask soul by soul. As Mr. Keshe says, a soul will never lie, so we get the answers on the soul level. We start now. Thank you all very much. So now we come to the guidelines. Today I took this topic because it feels very important to understand these guidelines that were made some 13 years ago, and they are still very valuable. You can go to the next slide, please. So this is from this document, the Universal Guidelines.
Yes, the
Next one,
document.
please.
The document is called Universal Council Charter. Okay.
Thank you. It's online on the web page. So next slide, please. Servitude is the essence of the soul. In this word servitude is the word serving, and that is the essence of our soul. The essence through the servitude and peace elevates the collective soul of planet Earth, and this in turn radiates across universes. In its peaceful relationship with the planet and all living beings, humanity becomes aware of the essence of its entirety. A true human is a lover of all life in every dimension and at every point in all the universes. Our service is through our souls, in the full understanding that serving is the way of elevating another soul in its path of its journey through the universe. Serving is an expression of the beauty and the essence of the soul of the universal existence. Serving is unconditional love to bring unity of all beings. Next one, please. The creation or entry of any soul in one cycle of creation is the seed of a new life and the beginning of a new cycle. The soul brings all beings into peace with a bond of love, trust, understanding, and compassion. All beings possess a soul, and the soul always seeks balance. The soul is loving and gives unconditionally. The soul is forgiving and records in its strength all events. The soul has the highest order of all strength beyond all else and is everlasting, according to totality spectrum of souls in the universe. And through experiencing all, the soul is aware of itself as the source of all that is good for itself and for all others. Next one, please. The soul is omniscient. The soul is sovereign of its own essence. All souls position themselves by their unique strength in the interaction to be in harmony with all and their surroundings. The soul exists through unconditional love and embraces all. The soul is the creator and protector of the soul of physicality and is the essence of creator of physicality. And in being so, the soul is the collaborator of the manifestation of physical life to offer the chance of experiencing if we, to participate in creation of a new cycle of life. The soul holds all treasures and wisdom within its spectrum of strength. Thank you, Rick. Over to you, Marie.
Yes. Can you take, yeah. So on this first coming Saturday, the Universal Council, represented by me, are invited to the Plasma Connection, and which is a teaching on soul, ethos, and about the Universal Council. There is no link for this yet, but I think it's streamed on the Keshe Foundation Brazil page on YouTube. And when the link is up, I guess we will distribute the link in all the Telegram groups of Keshe Foundation. So I hope you come and support and learn something new, maybe. And these answers are answered by several members of the Universal Council. And the questions are asked by knowledge seekers from many areas or languages. So everyone is welcome. Thank you. And it's at 10 PM CET on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. So we come to the One Planet, One Solution. And here is where I want to ask Dean if you're ready.
Thank you, Jacko. Yes, I'm ready. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I can, I'm just going to share a screen. So this is the One Planet, One Solution, and we are here to serve. So hopefully you can all see the screen now. This is a slide that I made up to present to you today. So this was some knowledge that came forward from Mr. Keshe. And it's a very beautiful message that connects you with your soul, with the soul of physicality. There was a UC member that sent this through to me. And I've put this together so that we can just talk it through and just experience the connection you can have by speaking these words. So, Mr. Keshe, this is from the 57th One Nation, One Planet, One Race. And it's at timestamp 3213 on YouTube. Don't have a fear. Rejoice to what you have. This is what I have. I need to give to my own soul, love thy neighbor, which is the closest into my soul. I told you, it is the gap between the heart and your brain. And the voice box is in there. Change it, elevate it through the vibration of the soul of the physicality. I love you, my soul. I live you, and I love you, with you, and I adore you. And then see what the soul will give back to you. So this is something that I've, when I come to understand this, I started to do this on a regular basis, in the evenings and in the mornings. So as I was about to go into a dream state, about to take another position, I would say this to my soul verbally. I would speak this out. I would speak the words from my voice box. So this was the intention from the connection of the soul of physicality that would be a direct connection with the soul of man. And this had an amazing influence and a beauty that I come to understand. As soon as I started doing this, the elevation of my being, of my soul, seemed to take a position, a shape. And so through these wonderful words that were spoken, I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you and I adore you. Very simple words, but these came from Mr. Keshe's mouth, from Mr. Keshe's voice box, from the understanding that Mr. Keshe has from the creation and the whole of creation from the creator. So these are very deep, meaningful words. And when you connect them together and say these very simple words through your voice box, then you start to experience an elevation of your soul. And then in the environment and everything around you, you'll see that you will experience, if you observe around you, an elevation of many other different conditions around you. So as you can see in the picture that, Diane, I don't know if you want to say anything here, but there's a picture of yourself and there's a picture, I can see that a flash has gone off. And then there's obviously, if you look down at the bottom underneath her chin, there's a reflection there of where the voice box would be. And it's like the soul of physicality and the soul of man connecting through this voice box here, elevating the physicality and taking a position of a field strength that manifests beauty all around you. And you start to, as I said, before, you start to experience many different interactions within your environment. And for me, it created this wonderful, I don't know what the right word is, but this wonderful emotion that when I did interact with other souls, when I started speaking this on a regular basis, the field strength gradually rose. And the interaction of the physicality with the soul reached a point where the environment, the matter state around started to match what was being spoken. So you were starting to interact and have many, many beautiful creations. And these creations can be from anything, can be from people and beings to animals and the whole environment, the trees, the vertical friends, horizontal friends. Every interaction you have starts to vibrate and starts to manifest this beauty. So we just read it once more. So to join the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you and I adore you. And see what the soul will give back to you when you utter and speak these words in this moment. So it's a gradual process. Start doing it as often as you feel that you need to do it. It's individual, and it's just, and everybody can speak these words. But when you speak them through the soul of physicality, then the soul of man starts to give back to you. And we'll see what the soul gives back to you when you start to speak these beautiful words. Thank you all. Thank you, Jacko.
Thank you, Dean.
I'll stop the share now.
So we can go to the next slide. Yes. And I would like to ask you, Dean, if it's possible to read.
Of course, Jacko. Yeah, I should read this.
Thank you.
Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, this is thou shalt believe in one creator for all men. It's a completion of the missing commandments by Mehran Tavakoli Keshe. Number 23, thou shalt believe in one creator for all men. And one thing which is not put on the top, and this was important, because then he could not rule on the name of God was, thou shalt believe in one creator for all men. Then, if this would have been done, we wouldn't have the religions which came after him, because he took the most important part of the whole equation of peace of man and elevation of the soul of the man. Thou shalt believe in one creator for all man. Then we don't call one Jew, one Christian, one Buddhist, because at the end it's all made to one. And this is what I said past couple of weeks, as the President of the United States said. We move the capital to Jerusalem. That the true essence of the first order of what we call the tablet was this, then all became one. Then there is no religion, different path. We call it God. And he took it out because then he couldn't say to the others, you're different. then I have to change you because of what I believe and what I received. So an extract from 204 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and a timestamp of 5707 to 5839, MTK. But take the physical part out and listen and read these in the essence of the soul of the man. Because it says, the first one, he received was, thou shalt believe in one creator for all men. Then, how could he divide those who are his followers and follow his God, and those that do not? Again, extract from 204 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, 107 to 107:32, MTK. The only wish I had was if Moses would have thrown all the 10 commandments in the bin and carried one with him, we would have been totally different. And that was, thou shalt believe in one creator for all men. Then nobody have been jealous. Nobody would have been done the rest. We have a lot to go. We have a lot we have to learn. But the problem is, this school has 7 billion students, and we have all sorts. Those are who carry a lot of lines of abbreviation of names of doctors and professors, and their soul is still in the nursery. And we have those who clean cars, and their soul sits in the universities of the soul of the man. The degree of physicality does not show the level of the soul of the man, and that's the beauty of it. That's why in Keshe Foundation SSI, we give no certification, because we only teach. And the elevation of the soul of the man at the point of need becomes the graduation of man. Not in, I can't see, there's something in the way there.
Not in what we ask, in the
Not
term
in
of physicality.
Thank you, Jack. So there you go.
Yes. And if we think about this, when we met the prophets in the meeting in January, I asked on the soul level to Moses what he would think would mankind have become if he would have delivered all. And there would be no religions, no fights between them, no wars. And it really makes a big difference if we start to understand what this really means. So I thank you very, very much for reading it.
Yeah, thank you, Jacko. I think this it has a real beauty. One creator. So we've all come from one creator. So
yes,
there is only this one position. Thank you, Jacko.
Thank you, Dean. Anyone else would like to add to this? Okay, then we go to the next slide, please. So we can bring the needs and wishes from your community to the Universal Council as one nation, one planet, one race for justice and world peace. Is there anyone who wants to bring any need or wish?
Hi, it's Diane. I'm from the support.
Hi, Diane.
Hi. Blessings, everyone. My daughter had another psychic attack. She went to the hospital again last night. But anyway, they're trying different medication. But I keep forgetting, like, I can only communicate with her soul because she's so wrapped up in like the New Age teachings, like Lord Sananda, and she's not realizing the power within her that we all have we're all the creator. And there's something that I keep remembering, like God is the creator and we're the converter, the creator of the energies, and we're to convert those energies. Like the whole of creation was chaos, and then we got to put it together. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but I gotta remember to, the only way to reach her is through my soul, and until I get more grown, not being a baby, it's then we can speak through the voice box, the soul, and maybe that can touch her. But in the meantime, like, I think just giving, like, just working through the soul, because there's no reaching her on the mental level, the physical mental level. Anyways, that's just what I want to say, that we all have it within us. So hang on. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Yes, it is communication, but we go a step higher, you know. We can share our soul and give the opportunity to the other souls to take what they need. And this is what we do at 9 o'clock, but this is also what we should do whenever you feel like it is. And this feeding that we're training now with the sessions is also a feeding of the soul, and we can make changes on that level too. We just don't understand it yet, and we're in this process of learning. And you know, it's not only you, we're all learning, we're all trying to put this jigsaw puzzle pieces together to in the end see the picture. But it's beautiful to help each other and to support each other. And we can do it on a big scale. The scale is growing and growing with all the possibilities that are coming up from the foundation. Mr. Keshe told about it. We cannot imagine what we are able to do in near future. But thank you very much for sharing.
Jacko, may I just quickly say that, so in micro and macro, so what Diane's just experienced with a daughter is obviously within a family. And we know that there are many situations that when you expand it out, it becomes part of another problem, another condition within a community or within a nation. And so if we tackle each, if we give unconditionally to the soul, so if we connect the soul of physicality with the soul, and as Jacko just said, that we're going to be we are unlimited. We have this connection right in this moment. We just need to awaken to it and understand what we have, and what we the feel strength and what we actually are. So if we give to the field strength of a balanced condition and giving from our soul to Diane's daughter, and then we expand that out to a community and the nation, it's all the same. It's from an atom to a universe. It's all the same process. So it's just a viewpoint. And when we start to expand our soul outside of ourselves, then we start to take in the totality of everything, which is the whole of creation, what we spoke about earlier. There's one creator, and that spark of the creator within each and every one of us. So when we tap into this, we start to experience the elevation and the enhancement of not only the individual, but the community and the nations, and globally, because we then become just this one point that is at one point in a point that is part of a much, much bigger picture of many points. And we're all part of it, and we're all part of the creation. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, Jacko.
Thank you, Dean. Anyone else?
Well, I'd like to just simply say to Diane, I give from my soul. Take what you need. and may the results of our efforts be used for the benefit of all beings everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are present. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you very much. So we go to the next slide, please. And this time I will not read it, because Mr. Keshe said we should change the level of words to the soul. And on the soul level, we know that is the reason why we're here, to serve. So from the Universal Council, I thank you very, very much. And we see each other again very soon, hopefully tomorrow in the Reactor group. And I wish all a good meal who are participating in the event of dining with the Creator. Thank you, Rick, and everyone.
Great. Thank you, Jacko. And thank you to all the members of the Universal Council for supporting today's show and supporting the work of the Universal Council. Okay, I think that brings our 263rd One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice to a close here today on Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. Okay, our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I host every Wednesday starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time, which is the same as 10 p.m. on today on Tuesday, February 28th, Pacific Time. And it's open to people that are both newcomers and old-timers with the plasma technology, and we exchange information and experiences in that venue. Okay, I think that's it. We'll end with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. Swetta's not here, but I'm sure she would appreciate that, and maybe she's home listening as well. Okay, thank you everyone for being here today, being part of our show, and we'll see you in the next public teaching workshop.